What's up, everybody? It is our fourth and final week of our daily fitness challenges, day one of our last week. So today's exercise is going to be a lower body exercises. We have two versions of this exercise that you can do. The first version is called a glute bridge hold, and the other version is called a glute bridge tap. So you can choose which one you want to do for this day's exercises. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you both exercises, and then I'll go into the extensions. And yeah, so for a glute bridge hold, all you're simply going to do is you're going to get on your back. You can have your hands up. You can have them laying on the ground. It is up to you. You're going to get your legs at a 45-degree angle around there. It doesn't have to be exactly 45 degrees. You don't have to have your protractor out measuring it. But you want to have it kind of looking like I am. And then all you're going to do is simply take your hips and you are going to raise them off of the ground. And you want to make a nice straight line with your upper body through your hips all the way to your knees. So you're going to have to drive down through your heels and squeeze those glutes nice and tight, so that way you can hold this position. All right. When you're doing that, also you want to focus on keeping your back nice and straight. So sometimes you'll see some people, they'll get up and they'll be like this, where their chest is really high up and they got an arch in their back. You want to really focus on keeping your back nice and flat, and then drive through those glutes, or squeeze those glutes, and drive your hips off the ground by pushing through your heels. Sometimes you'll have a slight arch in the thing. That's fine, as long as you're squeezing those glutes and trying to drive your hips up. If you're somebody who has a tight hamstrings, you'll find that you won't be able to get up as high, but just really focus on squeezing those glutes and driving those hips up. So glute bridge hold is just simply going into this position and holding it for the 2-minute set. Now glute bridge tap is very similar. You're going to go up, you'll hold it for a second, and then you're going to go down, and you're going to tap your bottom on the ground, and then you're going to drive it back up. So it'll be just like this. You're going to pause at the top, tap up, tap up, tap up. You don't want to spend a lot of time on the ground and then going up and then going back on the ground. It should be tap up, hold for a second, tap up, hold for a second. So those are the two exercises. Glute bridge hold, you're holding it for the 2 minutes, or if you want to do a glute bridge tap, you tap your bottom on the ground, you hold it at the top for a second, tap it on the ground, hold it at the top. So our extensions for this exercise will be, if you have a elastic band like this, or you have a rope, what you could do is you could tie a rope, tie a knot halfway through the rope, and then you can stick it around your legs. And now what you will do is you can focus on driving your knees out while driving the hips up and squeezing those glutes while you're doing either one of the exercises. So for the taps, go down, tap. While I'm doing this, I'm focused on making sure that the rope doesn't have any slack in it. You want it to look like a guitar string where if you flick it, it vibrates. So you want to keep that rope nice and taut, go down, tap, or if you're going to hold it, make sure you're driving those knees out the whole time. Same thing with the band. You're going to do the same thing. Now, if you don't have a band or a rope like this laying around at your house, that is fine. I challenge you to get creative. What you could do is, if you have an abundance of duct tape, you could get a nice big long roll and fold it on itself, so that way it's not sticky, so it doesn't stick to your legs, and then tie a knot in that, and you can focus on using that. If you have one of those string backpacks that's all broken, what you can do is you can pull the string out of that and use that string to do the exercise with. If you have a cord of some type, like an old phone cord or an extension cord that nobody's using, you could tie a knot in that and do the exercise with that. I'm challenging you guys to be creative. Try to find something that you can use if you want to add the extensions to it. Personally, for me, what I think is the more challenging exercise is the glute bridge hold, because after a while of doing it, you'll find that it's harder to squeeze your glutes and drive your hips up because your muscles are starting to become fatigued. So after about 4 minutes of doing it, you're going to start finding that it's harder to do. Whichever exercise you choose on doing, so if you choose the glute bridge hold to do for all of the 5 sets, what I want you to just do is I want you to write down on the tracker chart, I did glute bridge hold, and when you're doing the glute bridge holds, I want you to do it for the full 2 minutes. So don't just kind of do it for a minute, go back down as soon as you're starting to feel a little tired. Try to hold it for the 2 minutes. If you do need to take a small break, try to keep the break short, around 10 seconds, and then get back into the exercise. If you're doing the glute bridge taps, all you're just going to do is you're just going to write down how many taps you were able to get in the span of the 2 minutes of the set. Remember, we are doing 5 sets, 2 minutes each set. Make sure you're recording on the tracker sheet and record the last set at least 30 seconds of the last set, so that way we can see that you're doing the exercises. I will see you in tomorrow's video. I hope you enjoyed, and